I think you said when Scott was injured that 2 weeks would be the earliest he'd come back. Wondering, I think we're 2 weeks now. What's his condition?
He is feeling better, Tom. I think he's going to shoot a little bit today and tomorrow, and I just think we're kind of day-to-day evaluating, and I certainly don't want to rush him back. I'd like that thing to be really calmed down before we bring him back, and I think we're still in limbo because if he goes hard on it for 2 days, are we right back where we started from? This is a tricky one to kind of evaluate, but he is going to get out on the court and shoot with us today and go through some non-contact drills.
And you talked about when this happened, about reinventing the team. What do you feel like now that you didn't know 2 weeks ago? What do you feel confident about?
Well, I really have loved how our group has come together after the Georgetown game. I mean, we were, up against it right then, and playing bigger with Tom. Certainly, Tom has given us great energy and a great lift, and playing two big guys has given us something. It's made us more physical, and so for us to get 3 out of 4 with Scott down, I'm thrilled right now to be in the position we're in, given Scott Martin's situation. I still think we're in the middle of still improving now that we've had kind of a reinvention. But I'm also excited about the prospect of, if we get Scott back, bringing him back to energize us whenever that is.
Thank you.
Brian?
Yep. Hey, Mike, how much does playing against Syracuse zone prep you for Louisville? Are we talking two different animals defensively, those teams?
No, I think it's we came in Tuesday and watched a lot of our zone stuff against Syracuse. More of it was not good than good. We had some good possessions, obviously, but I felt we really needed a learning, teaching, watching situation because there is a lot of carryover. The one thing you got to deal with first, though, is the pressure, the ball pressure, and two small guards that get up under you and really pressure the ball in the backcourt. That's my first concern as we prepare for Louisville. But once you get it across half court, then you're dealing with their zone. And I think there's some things we need to do better and clean up in the next 2 days of practice before we play Saturday night against a 2-3 zone.
This series has obviously been kind of crazy. I'm wondering if you think it's just coincidence. Basically, there's a ton of overtime games, a ton of close games, or is there something about the two teams and styles that leans it to that direction?
Yeah, Brian, that's a good point. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but all I know is Rick Pitino and I in the summer, and even before the game tomorrow, Saturday night, we'll probably, one of us usually says, how many we want to play tonight? 1, 2, 5 extra. It's like a running joke when we're recruiting in the summer. But God, they've just been great games, just really good games. Hard played, kids really competing, and I expect it to be that way on Saturday night, but I can't put my finger on why, exactly
We went off.
it goes like that.
When you say there are things to clean up, what do you need to do to be better against the zone that you weren't better the other night?
Well, the first thing we got to do is make some shots. You don't want to thoroughly overanalyze this thing. You've got to make some shots over the top of a 2-3 zone to have success against a team that plays it a lot. And when we've had success playing against zone, you got to make, I think you got to make 8+ threes, and so I don't want to get us looking over our shoulder too much. We got to get a lot of shooting in, get the Wilson balls back in our hands over the next couple days, and do that. The one thing that is a little different is not having Scott Martin in the high post of the zone. And now I think Tom and Zach were very good with the ball for the most part. It's a different kind of attack when you have two big guys in, and we've got to get some short corner touches. Can we flatten it? And we got to always analyze if we don't have playing small, having to play smaller where we can spread a little bit. Some of our best movement the other night was playing small, and we got some shots.
Mike, I guess, I don't want to split hairs on you, but, kind of just to touch on Scott again, is there any chance you think he's going to play this weekend, or, is it just everything kind of up in the air still?
I think very up in the air. I think, he hasn't done anything in 2 weeks. So I'm interested to see how he moves just in some shooting drills today. And, and how he feels tomorrow. I mean, that's as far as we can go right now. I mean, so that's kind of my mindset with it. But his frame of mind on Tuesday was that, he wanted to get back in there and move around a little bit and see how it felt.
And then, I know you talk about it all the time, but just touch a little bit on how crazy this Big East race has been over the last couple of weeks, how everything's just obviously kind of turned all around.
It's great. Really, how about the drama in college basketball, the stuff going on? It's going to make for an unbelievable NCAA tournament. I just hope we can be part of that thing. We just want to get one of those 68 spots. But our league continues to be the drama queen league and the most watched league. I mean, it's just amazing what's going on. We're right in the thick of this thing, and with some big games. I looked at our schedule. 6 of our 8 or 5 of our last 7 are in the top 55 or top 57 of the RPI. But I think it's going to be an interesting stretch run here with what you've seen happen with top teams, teams that were picked in the top 3 or 4 of the preseason Big East poll getting nailed. Providence RPI. They're a top 100 RPI team now. So who knows? You're just trying to handle your business and not get not get too far. You don't get too low emotionally after a tough loss, and you can't celebrate a good win. Short memories is the key in the Big East.
And then Zach, he's not giving you tons of minutes, but he's giving you, it seems like, a lot of energy and quality in those minutes that he's out there.
Well, he has. He's given us great juice and energy, but what he needs to help us with now is on the defensive board. I told him on Tuesday, we watched some film, he played 33 minutes without a defensive rebound. And I love his juice. He's running the floor. He's had putbacks. He's scored for us. There's juice there, but he needs to help us on the defensive backboard down there. Having said that, I like what he's given us right now. He has been another injection of energy for us.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Yep.
Hey, Brian, are you back?
Yeah, Bernie, I'm back.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I guess we all got cut off, so.
Oh, okay. It was everybody? Good, not just me.
Yeah.
Can I ask one more question? Is that
Oh,
all right?
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yep.
That's why we went back to you.
Okay, great. This is actually sort of a little bit off topic, Mike, but I'm wondering, I know this is sort of the time of year where you're looking towards scheduling for next year, putting that together. What is the premise you're working on in terms of where you'll be at this point?
Well, we do know we'll be in the Big East next season. Decision was made at the last Friday. So thank God we have some direction. We will play in the Big East next year. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I've had a little buyer's remorse on this ACC and going through the league and playing in these different buildings and wondering if it's going to be the last. So that you're in the in the Big East, you can start to schedule your non-league stuff. Right now, we have Indiana down in the Crossroads, and it looks like we'll be in what we call the Gotham Classic, which ends up playing Ohio State in the Garden there. And as far as power games, Santa Clara will come here on a 1-game stint, and then after that, now that we know we're in the Big East, we can start to investigate what we want to do with other stuff.
Is there a little bit of, I know you said buyer's remorse, but there's also that excitement of...
Yeah.
Are you okay with how the Big East looks to be constituted, or what do you know about how it's going to look next year?
Well, I feel strongly that the Catholic schools, are going to be there with us, and that's one of the reasons we decided to sit tight. Is it looked like the Catholic schools were not going to be able to formulate this league that they're going to put together by next season. Now, I think anything can happen in this. Could they put it together in the next 6 weeks? Nothing would shock me, but I think we feel that, they're going to be in there, we're going to be in there, so the last hurrah is going to be next year, not this year.
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions for those on the line?
Go ahead, Tom.
How much do your guards need to play well against a good guard matchup? What you see Connecticut first time, Syracuse the second time. Now it's almost like you really need Jaron and Eric to beat Jaron and Eric. They control things, and it may be,
they control it no matter who we play. If those guys are in their groove, I know they were disappointed in how they played. They were disappointed in how they turned the ball over. For guys that have really protected the ball, for them to have 8 turnovers between them and not be great with it early, I know they're still, that sticks in their craw. But they have to be good. We got to be receivers for them against pressure. We got to help them. But they got to confidently drive gaps. They got to confidently step up and shoot it. They're really the key to us.
You said last time, I think maybe after the Connecticut game in 2009, if you had done it over, if you had the chance to do it over again, you would have gone to Chicago because of all the hype and everything with game day.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you handle it now?
No, it's a great question. I have taken a whole new outlook. The circus is coming to town, and I've got my cotton candy. I am going to have fun. We are going to enjoy it. I'm going to be with the students. We are going to have and someone said there's a game in there somewhere at 9 o'clock. I'll get to that later. But now, we don't have a 45-game win streak on our back either, so it's changed. But I think my mental preparation for that, given the 45-game win streak, the whole thing coming to town, I don't think I did a good job with my team. They probably were uptight because of me. And I told Bernie 2 days ago, she was like, was that too much? I said, bring it all on. We're going to have fun with it. We're going to enjoy it and be loose and play. And we'll see if that works.
Is it easier to be loose because you don't have that, I think, the home court win? You're not
That
protecting
helps. No question. I mean, it starts with that. When you don't have a 45-game win streak on your back. How did we get to that, by the way? That's unbelievable when I looked at that the other night. But anyways, when you don't have that on your back, it's easier to enjoy the cotton candy when you're sitting at the circus, because the circus is coming to town today, and there is more stuff going on. Amen. We're gonna have fun with it.
You're having fun with it, but how do you get the players to embrace it?
I've told them that. I told them that on Tuesday. Here, I said, fellas, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. We're going to embrace it and have fun with it. There's going to be, like we're going to be there, Saturday morning, they have the team out there. We're all going to do our thing. We'll have time to come back at 4 o'clock, get our shoot around, and just play. And I think that gives you the best chance. As I've experienced one of them and lost and watched other teams go through it, you just got to, embrace it.
You talked about nothing to lose at Syracuse. I don't know that you played quite like that, but I mean, is that the whole idea of what you're trying to create here?
I would like to see us play that way the rest of the season, and just kind of go for it. I think if we get into a thing of, oh my God, then I think you play tight. You play not to lose, and I think coming from me, that's a big key here for the next down the stretch, just to go for it. And again, when you have 6 league wins and you get in the vicinity of 9 league wins, is probably going to put you in pretty good shape. I think you're more apt to, to be able to be that way, and I think that's a key for us.
How were you guys in those terms Monday night?
Monday night, I think we came out, we were loose and ready to go, but when you turn it over like that early, I thought those were big. We never really recovered psychologically from the turnovers. I know we came back and took the lead, but what it did was, I think what it did, it comes back to Tom's point about our guards, what it did is it had our guards wondering a little bit, and they were never really aggressive together the rest of the night.
You had to be concerned about the possibility of that with the length of their guards.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that's maybe different between the two zones is the guys up top at Syracuse are a lot bigger than the guys up top in the. We could not get we had a set that we like to run called 4 flash, where we like to hit an elbow guy. We couldn't make that pass a lot of times because of their length. And I thought they were fabulous defensively. I think I read where Boeheim even said they were really good, the best they've been defensively. They're closing out on you with length. Shots that you think are good shots, all of a sudden weren't. We watched a bunch of shots in here Tuesday where, hey, Cam, probably a shot fake there. Hey, Tom, because guys are flying at you. And again, it was them, imposing their will on us.
You talk about making shots. I'm sure you're pleased with the shots that Tom Knight was getting. Those are good looks.
I thought he took like the first shot of the game was a bad shot, and I said, I'm not getting on Tom, but it kind of sets the tone. He took kind of a flyer in the high post, and a couple of his other ones were with guys on him. He kind of took them quick. Now, it's a fine line. I don't want him looking over his shoulder worried about shooting, but when you're playing a good team like that, we got to get, my point on Tuesday was, I don't know if that's a great one. Let's shot fake there. Let's move it some more. Look, we shot it fast. There was still 18 seconds on the shot clock. We could keep playing. And a lot of times when we've been good against, last year when we were good against these guys, we were very, very patient. Really were patient against them. And I think I'd like us to be more patient against their zone. Now, that's quite a challenge because they rev you up with a full court pressure. Can you then get it across and downshift? We did that in the Yum Center. We could not do it in the Garden, and thus they jumped on us. And we turned it over early. We turned it over early, a little bit like we did the other night, and our guards were never as confident as they needed to be.
We're building on the guards again. I think this is the 8th time you're now facing Peyton Siva and Eric Atkins has been there, and Grant.
Yeah.
When he plays well, they beat you, and when you control him,
Yeah.
they break it down like that. You guys pull it out. How do you, if there's confidence getting to the guards,
Right.
guarding him?
Well, the ball screen defense is such a key with him, and we were great down the stretch last year in the Yum Center. We couldn't handle him. He was zipping down our gut, and we got to give different looks there. Are we hard showing? Are we flat showing? That they don't stroke it from outside. You're able to jam the lane a little bit more than when they had Couric and the kid who Mike Mara. You can jam the lane a little bit more with some help, and that's where he does his damage when he gets in there. So we're going to have to really, not only is it Jack showing on the ball screen and Eric getting over the top of it, but those other three guys, 2 of them should be able to really jam the lane.
He gets there better than anybody.
Yeah. We talk about, it's funny when we talk about, one night I was saying, boy, we were really good in our ball screen defense, and Martin Inglesby got me back to earth. He said, that wasn't Siva we were dealing with. I said, that's a good point. This guy's the hardest guy to deal with off the ball screen when he's in a good flow and confident.
Talked about the reinvention. I think playing well against South Florida. The last 3 games, maybe Pat scuffling a little bit. Is it
Yeah.
just kind of get used to different role or minutes?
We need more out of him. Tuesday, I told him, I said, I don't think you're moving without the ball as well as you were 2 weeks ago. And instead of dwelling on your shot, I think for him, and I think when he plays more physical and gets on the backboard for us, that helps him. But we do need him back in gear, and that's what we talked about, and hopefully we can get some of that in practice the next 2 days.